one of the things I love about being home, being in Lucedale is, like you said, you do know everybody. But everybody kind of looks after everybody else. Before I got here, I got a phone call. My cows were out. So
somebody took care of it.
Yeah, somebody took care of it for me. They're like, "Hey, I got your cows," and I said, "Now I owe somebody." So, but they got my cows back in. Called my son. He kind of helped get them together. But it is a great place to be, and it's growing. I mean, it's kind of exciting. There's that fine line. Like, when does it get too big? Like he's talking about, when you don't want a 4-lane down Main Street.
Welcome to this week's episode of Right at Home with Karen Wright. Today we're joined by Nick D'Angelo. He is the manager of business operations for Singing River Electric and Singing River Connect. We also have Brandon Davis with us. He is the head baseball coach and the assistant athletic director. I appreciate you being here. Just wanted to, give the public some views and firsthand sights on fiber. I know that with selling homes, fiber is not just something that they ask about and it's okay if we have it or not. It's one of those check boxes they're not going to purchase without it. And some of those reasons are simply security. The security cameras, you have to have the fiber to make them run. I had security cameras before y'all came and I couldn't use them, So once we got the fiber, that was not a problem. But, kids are gaming and videoing and streaming and people are working from home like myself. So that's something good. But I just wanted to talk to y'all. Y'all are the people to talk about. What's left in the build out, Nick?
So we've completely built, as of, I guess, December, the end of last year, we were completely built out in Greene and George counties. We are about a third of the way through the Jackson County build out. Just a little slower, more underground, and sort of a little more going on down there as far as the build out. A lot of aerial up here, is more underground down there, so that's slowed down some. But we are in beginning phase 5 of the build out down there, and just now St. Martin area. So we're looking forward and excited about that. But to your point, we've had a lot of positive feedback up from our members and subscribers on the fiber side from this area, and you hit on a couple key things. Security and being able to work from home, that was kind of the catalyst behind everything. Our board, the electric board, decided to move forward with the build out was COVID, and understanding that we really didn't have true internet, in the rural parts of our service territory. But that, you talk about security cameras, that's one thing really quickly that we had people call about is that having that, that camera out there, because one of our primary needs is security, and then once you get that, then you become reliant upon it. So work hard to make sure that, electric is going to always be the priority, but we also understand that when you start talking about security now, internet is also a priority too. So and access to it. So we're excited about it, and appreciate the opportunity to be here, and allowing you mentioned bringing somebody, and I thought, who could I bring that would be somebody that would be kind of timely and kind of what's going on in the community, and then because that's where we are, right? Like, we want to make sure that our members and subscribers know that we're that local provider. So I immediately thought about Brandon. Wasn't long after we kind of started building out in George County and had begun to move through, got a call from him. And he was like, "Hey, we got some equipment down at the pitching
facility,
the field house. I'm sorry, and Dugout Club's interested in getting an account set up because I have this machine." And so we went down. One of our guys went down and staked it. We had it built, and Brandon was joking a while ago. George County won state championship last year because of Singing River Connect.
Yeah, that's right.
So anyway, we're excited about the way we can get plugged in. It gives us opportunities because we have established relationships in the communities that we serve. And Brandon is a really good example of that. He knew some folks at Singing River and was like, "Hey, how can we make this happen?" And we're glad to be a part of that.
Half my baseball team kids play. Their parents work at Singing River, so But no, like I said, we were in desperate need. Like we had a couple of different devices we had bought. One was a radar gun and one was for our hitting, and it just kind of gives us some numbers to go on and kind of help our training. We had paid the money for it, and then we got it, and we realized really the internet the school could provide at the time was just not feasible because of how far out the building was from the high school.
That's right.
And so when we got that, we said we have all this, you pay all this money for this device, it's not working. So I was like, what do I do? And then we knew Singing River Connect was popping up everywhere. It was already in the press box at the football field, and we were asking about that. And Justin Estes at the time, he was like, "You just call them up." And then I started inquiring. We called over there, and you're like, "Talk to Nick." And literally within like 6-7 days, it was going, and it just helped tremendously. And not only that, we actually have cameras up now down there, and it helps to that extent too. But also watching film on the other teams helped us tremendously in the field house. And don't forget the all entertainment. The guys like to hook up the Wi-Fi and jam out and get good vibes going.
That's right.
That's what they like, the good vibes. So all that to get, because inside a metal building, if you have any metal building, there's no cell service coming in there.
That's right.
And it helped us out. And then this new thing that we've got going now, Nick's going to tell you about it. It's going to be really good because for whatever reason, on the hill up there at the high school, there's no cell phone service. People at the ball field were just complaining. I'm sure he got the complaints too from the employees that work at Singing River Electric who are like, we don't have any cell phone service. So Nick came up and presented this. And
so this actually, we did this. It's called Smart Town, and we actually partnered with Jackson County last year into 23 at Long Compass Park, and we built that in there. And essentially what it is, it's where you're basically, some people call it Wi-Fi on the go. And they had the same issue down there. Is there was poor cell signal. If you've been in Long Compass, it's just not great. So anyway, when we started talking with Brandon, and I started getting that, sort of those comments like just not a lot of connectivity down there. I was like, well, look, you already have this service, and I see there being a partnership there. I could do some things operationally. Give y'all a QR code to sign, and so when your folks come in, they'll download this PassPoint profile, as it's called, and it'll download a little app. It's a PassPoint profile. It's not even an app. Just download this file on the phone, and so when they walk in to watch a game at Georgia County High School, it'll be just like they walked in, at your house. And of course, it has all of the protections, the same protections as far as content and that kind of thing that you would expect at your house and for that kind of stuff. But we're excited about it. We see this as, the Long Compass opportunity, and now this is an opportunity, again, a co-op mind, because, that's how the co-op works, right? We're ingrained in the community, and we're a part of that. And we feel like the Smart Town project with Brandon and the baseball, the Diamond Club, it's sort of just another way that manifests itself. So basically the way it works, you literally, QR code, you see those everywhere. It'll send you to a link. You basically follow the directions. There's a page on our website, kind of walk you through that process. And it is a little bit more cumbersome on a Galaxy, I'll say that, but on the iPhone, it's pretty straightforward. It interfaces really well. And again, just another opportunity to be plugged in. Brandon mentioned the press box. I forgot about that. That actually came out of a conversation with WRBE. They were using cell phone service, I think, to broadcast the games.
Yeah, I think they were using the Nokia block phone.
Yeah.
Legitimately. Like
Really?
the old gray Nokia block phone, and they were like, it worked for years, and then Bruce and Justin, I think, were there, and they were trying to get some new equipment.
Yeah.
Is what it ended up being, and needed Wi-Fi, and that it just blossomed out of that.
So we obviously, want to be plugged in and be part of the community, and all. I feel like we've done that with Singing River Electric with 85 years, investing in our communities, and this just gives us another opportunity on the Connect side to be able to do that.
When does this start?
So it's been live at Long Compass in Jackson County for, like I said, a year or so. We will actually hang the signs up, and we'll be on site tomorrow night for the Van Cleve George County game, and kind of showing folks how to get it on their phone. So it'll be live tomorrow evening.
Some people already kind of figured it out.
Yeah, well,
It's not hard. Like, it pops up.
yeah, we sort of to Brandon's employee comment, kind of put it out to some of our employees, like, hey, make sure this is doing the way it does at your house. It should perform just like it at your house.
Yeah.
And so as far as operationally, it's working. But not everybody's tech savvy. So you're trying to want to make sure that you're helping people get logged on, because it can be kind of confusing at first.
Well, I will use this because I may have been in the stadium last season, and I got a contract, and I couldn't
pull it up.
I couldn't pull it up. I couldn't read it. I couldn't do anything with it. So I had to do something else. I had to go to my truck and get my Wi-Fi, just like I used to have to do at home. When I didn't have fiber at my house, I would go to the end of the driveway. So I had to rely back on that. So that's going to be very handy for a lot of people.
Well, there's just so many people that think, "Where's your baseball game?" You don't need your phone, but
Yes, you do.
so many people do work. They don't have small business owner. Their work is not confined to 8 to 5.
That's right.
They're handling those things. Well, you want to be there to watch your kids play, and you have that reliability there.
And sometimes you got kids, Dick, that their other parent can't be there, and they want to FaceTime.
Oh yeah.
And they want to FaceTime their kid. I saw them do it in the stands Saturday. They're sitting there and they're videoing the kids at bat because dad's working on the road or whatever. And you couldn't do it. It just wasn't. But now they'll be able to. And it's just because baseball here, obviously, we've been fortunate. It's just a community event. It's like football. It's a community event. And we have so many people come out, and we don't want one of the reasons to be, well, I'm expecting a call or I get expecting an email. Now you can go and feel comfortable with it. And that's been a huge part. Singing River's been a huge part of that, helping us. Really, just I wouldn't even thought about it when they offered it. I was like, man, that's fantastic. Then I asked my wife, and I'm like, do we don't have cell phone service? She's like, no, we don't have cell phone service. I'm like, well, I'm not using my cell phone during the game. I'm trying to eliminate that. But then my assistant coaches, we have a device we use to keep score and keep up with pitches. And they looked at me and they was like, we're going to ask you because it's very difficult for us to upload that during the game, and it streams, and we have to have that to turn into the state and all those different things. We used to have to wait, I didn't know this, and then go download it after the game, but now they can do it instantaneously. So, it just makes it's a lot more convenient. And like I said, the partnership we have, and not only with that, I mentioned it, Singing River Neighbor Helping Neighbors. They we built a porch on the back of our hitting facility. We get fed pregame meals. We have nowhere to eat them. Like they're eating in the locker room, which is not a very good scenario with teenage boys eating anywhere inside. Yeah. So now they come out and they sponsored our, the material for it, and our CTE department, construction, put it together. So one more partnership, and we couldn't be more excited about every time we get a chance to get in the Singing River. We know it's going to be something good.
Absolutely. And it's just a necessity, right?
Yeah.
And one other thing I will mention too, so I mentioned Lumpcumbus and now George County Baseball, also the horse arena over in Vancleave, the Conrad Mallett facility, the Sheriff Rodeo happens over there every year. They also have the same QR code. So if you go to any of those 3 places, and we're looking to expand this partnership, right? Like any of those places you go to, you'll connect to the Wi-Fi instantly.
With the same app?
Yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. And I said app. It's not even an app. It's something that happens in the background. I'm not tech savvy either. We have network folks that help us through those conversations. But it essentially works in the background in your phone, and it recognizes that network when it's available to it.
So they just have to do the QR code, and it also shows up as an active
on your Wi-Fi. Yeah, it'll pop up on your Wi-Fi. You click on it. They figured it out pretty quick. And if you don't, just hand it to a teenager. They'll figure it out.
That's
true. They can find Wi-Fi.
Yeah. That is the truth.
They probably created it, right? Hey, guys. I just want to interrupt the segment really quick. My name is Karen Wright. I am a broker in Lucedale, Mississippi, and all the surrounding areas in South Mississippi for Karen Wright Realty. If you have any questions or want to think about selling your home or purchasing a home or land, just give me a call and I'm happy to help you. What about some of the other products and pricing that you offer?
So, we have the residential and commercial lines, 3. There's 3 tiers there. The minimum package is 300 megabits up to 2 gig. The minimum package at 300 meg is $59.95, I believe. The 1 gig, I believe, is $99, and then the 2 gig is $129.99. The one add-on that we often get asked about is Experience IQ and Protect IQ. So it's a $5 add-on on top of whatever those packages that you get. But It basically gives you some provision. You're joking about your kids being on at home and the 57 devices that they have. So it just gives you a little bit more insight, a little more control, a little more protection on protecting content. You know, a lot of folks will have firmware on their device specific stuff, their PC or just, this was sort of ahead of that. You know, IT folks say you can't have too much protection, too much security. So it's at the router level, and it's a $5 adder, and we have at our house. One of my older twins, he thinks that I'm petty because I cut his off. He don't do his short. I turn the Wi-Fi off. It kind of works. It's really a nice feature. The kids don't like it, but the adults really do.
You don't have to hunt them down and find their phones and
that's
take
right.
their phone
You can
away.
see it. If it's a device on that router, you can see it
And cut it off.
Cut that one on, but everything, I'm still watching the game. You know, streaming in the living room, do whatever I'm doing. But his world just ended.
But and also commercially, like at the church at Burnham, we have Connect, and one thing that was awesome, we called support, and we had our one so we could live stream our service, but then we wanted a guest Wi-Fi for everybody coming in. So they're like, absolutely. And then 30 minutes, I think TJ Brown, I call him up and he's like, okay, you got guest Wi-Fi now. So because people come in the metal building once again, but I mean, it was literally, we had sit there and scratched our head for like, how do we do it? And I said, why don't we call them? And so next thing we know, well, then like legitimately like 30 minutes. So like, hey, we got you going. Here's your guest Wi-Fi. Here's your password. Put it up on the screen Sunday. So people coming in the service. So now we got guest Wi-Fi, and that's from the commercial side. I guess I get both sides.
Yeah. So cool. On the commercial side, very similar package. The price structure is a little bit more because you have priority support always, especially churches and those small businesses. We want to make sure we know what that means, right? One thing talking about an add-on, and it is an app, and it's part of the 1 gig and 2 gig package. We have a 300 meg, 1 gig, 2 gig. It's called SR Connect Business, and it actually has similar features to what the Experience IQ app does, but there's a couple things in it that is unique that a residential account don't have. So it's going to have where they had 2 networks, it offers up to 4 networks. Like most business owners want to have their own individual network. Right. Then you're going to have a point of sale network, which is just going to have your devices, your wait staff has. Then you're going to have a employee network. So if you have employees that you allow them to hook the network, but if they don't need to be on their phone at certain times or whatever, you can
cut it off.
same concept behind your kids. Yeah. And then the fourth is the public Wi-Fi network, and that's unique in that I'm not sure if y'all have this set up, but if you don't, because when y'all got it set up, we may not even offer it at that time. This is relatively new. It actually has a landing page, and so if he wanted, let's say Brandon's case, he wanted to have a picture of his church. So if you've checked into if you ever use Wi-Fi at a hotel, it's a
hospital.
Very similar concept. But let's say it has Brandon's church on the front, gives them a greeting kind of thing. It'll take their first name, last name, and ask for an email address so he knows so they know who is accessing their network. And then, so that's their own network. Of course, you have the controls of the content that they get and what they can download and this kind of thing. But what it also do in 30 days, we'll send a Excel spreadsheet of the who's been on that network and their email address. So if Brandon wanted to say, hey, glad you visited with us in the past few weeks, just another touch point.
Little PR there. Yeah.
Right. So that comes in custom in that 1 gig and 2 gig commercial package. And so we're pretty proud of that. We haven't quite pushed it as much. We're the priority. I mean, we're 90% residential. So we really want to make sure folks, we're doing what we're supposed to be doing. It's glad to know that you've had good experience. Mm-hmm. We said going into this, if we don't deliver on the fiber side or on the internet side of the house the way we deliver on the electric side, not that we always get everything right on the electric side, but we certainly try. Yes. And if we fall short, I feel like we follow up, but we know we follow up and make sure that we have the best possible outcome for the membership and for the member. But then so the same mindset and approach on the Connect side that if we're going to do it, you have an expectation when that tan truck shows up, or if I'm sending my bill in to Singing River Connect, then I'm going to get the same response to outages and everything as Singing River Electric. Because if it's not, then we might as well close the door because that's not, it's not going to work.
We had that happen last week. We were working on our parking lot, and our guy cut the fiber.
Yeah.
Our guy working on he calls me. He's like, "Hey, I cut the fiber line." Literally, I called Singing River, and that afternoon, and that was on a Tuesday afternoon. I said, "We got church Wednesday. I need it." Wednesday morning, like 10 o'clock, you got fiber. So I mean, it's
some of those instances. It's different than restoring power, of course. You know, when we have a car hit pole and we have that in, you know, in the middle of the night, of course, that electric crew is going to respond. So our fiber crews are kind of sitting and waiting. And one good thing is, you know, our fiber folks, or our electric folks and our fiber folks, you know, they have good working relationships. So they kind of give us an estimated time. Hey, we're going to have everything safe where y'all can access it. Because the people that's working on the fiber aren't necessarily qualified to work on the electric. So you want to make sure it's a safe working situation. So when we send the fiber techs in to start splicing, which is a very tedious process. I did not realize how tedious that was. I see why the construction is, because it takes a long time.
And I use that. I don't know if the guy cutting my trees cutting the line, or if my dad was on the tractor and cut the line with the disc. I don't know what happened, but they came right out and fixed it. And within 24 hours, I had service back, and it was fast. So I appreciated having that kind of response time back to it.
Well, we definitely, again, any kind of call that comes in, you know, if it's technical, we do have a phone center, tech support phone center. It's pretty remarkable what they can do. If you call in, a lot of folks that's watching this is going to know Tom, and he may even told the story, about he got a smoker, a Bluetooth enabled smoker at Christmas, and he was trying, and Tom's pretty savvy guy, and he was trying to get it hooked to his router, and it wouldn't work. So he's like, he said, I studied on it about 10 minutes. He said, finally, I just called tech support. Well, they answer the phone. They have the ability, if it's a certain kind of TV or a smoker.
Yeah.
Tom told him it's this model smoker and this brand smoker. This is the model number. They have an app, I guess. They can pull that up, go to the instruction manual, and say, okay, I see what the problem is. I need to set up a network and do this. And Tom said, within about 10 minutes, it worked. Everything did what it was supposed to do. So I figured if Tom can't figure it out, I'm not going to be able to figure it out. So we need to find somebody that can. So we hear those things, but I also, in the same breath, if we don't deliver like that, then we want to know. Don't go to Facebook and bash us.
Please, don't.
Call us.
Yes.
Call us. You shouldn't.
That's right.
Our phone system, we watch that pretty closely. You shouldn't wait more than about a minute and a half, 2 minutes without having somebody on the telephone. And if that's not happening, we want to know about those instances too. So it's a lot of effort and thought of going into that.
And some people just don't know how to do things.
That's true.
I mean, like not tech savvy, whatever. But y'all have put something into place to have some learning labs, I think.
Very excited about that opportunity. Again, we feel like that's something that sort of, that brings to bear being involved in the communities. And the willingness to go out and make ourselves available. And we've had, I've lost count of how many we've had, but we've pretty well hit, let's see, 3 communities, I think, State Line, Leaksville, I think we had one there. The most recent one we had in Bendale. The next one is March the 11th. It'll be at Caswell Springs Methodist Church on 63 down in Wade. And that just gives the people an opportunity, like you said, that may not be tech savvy. One big thing that we're getting questions about is streaming. How do I do that?
Yeah.
Because, as you go further south, Leaksville south, I guess there's some parts northern that has cable, but they want to cut that cord. When you have internet and phone and all that kind of bundled, I know people's paying north of $250 a month. Well, if you get the 300 meg plan, it's, $60, or even if you go to the 1 gig at 85 and you package that with a YouTube TV is 85 or so. So you're still less than $200 and you have all the same channels as if you were paying the $250. So yeah, that in those learning labs, we talk about that. We have a streaming tool on the website at singingriverconnect.com, and it'll walk you through that. And, what package do you need? And then, again, if you got certain shows that you like to watch or channel, maybe the History Channel or Home and Garden, then it'll show you which which streaming service that would be best for you. And then there's a link that send you to it. You don't get that from us. We're just trying to kind of help you, give you the information, and you make a decision. So that's talked about pretty extensively, really hands-on at the Learn Lab. I referenced the Experience IQ, Protect IQ. We talk a little bit more into detail about that. Another thing we talk about, and this is going to be something that you're going to see us push in the schools in the near future, is cybersecurity. Because kids and people have access to the internet that's never had it before. And we know that we've had Safety City for years and years and years, where we go out and talk about the dangers of electricity. We do that a lot. We're going to see us make an attempt to go and get in the schools and on Senior River Connect on dangers of the internet and what that means. And so we've had a lot of folks, senior citizens especially, have questions about that, because it's just there's people that are way smarter. Seems like the bad guys are always smarter than the good guys when it comes to stuff like that. They would just put some of that to good. It'd be amazing.
That's right.
What they could accomplish. But you get these phishing emails and those things. It comes from a government agency or pretending to be a government agency. Somebody immediately you kind of get concerned and want to do something. And sometimes it's best just to delete it. But so we talk about that. And just try to make ourselves available to folks to come out and ask questions and understand what kind of what we're doing.
I think the elderly would really benefit to do that, just because there is so much out there that they don't know.
Yeah, well, it's inevitable. There's somebody gonna they want to make sure they can get their local stations. They got to get if they want got to be able to get Channel 5 or local news. So we make sure, they understand they can do that. And then they have, Andy Griffith or whatever they watch. They want to make sure, well, which one, pick it for me. And I'm like, well, let's just let you pick. You tell me, and we'll let the calculator work or the app work. But yeah, we do. It's been well received, and we look forward to those opportunities to talk with folks. And
what age group do you see come to the Learn Lab?
It's all over.
Really?
Because of the time of the day, you tend to get more retirees and people kind of that age. But that's just, for us as far as expense and not paying overtime and that kind of thing. But, I will tell you this, if same way we've done this on the electric side, if there's a group, it meets only in the evening times and they'd like us to come in and talk, absolutely we'll make it work. But we also understand people are busy. They go to baseball games. They go to Little League soccer. They go to, they got a lot going on. So we just found it to be, I guess makes the most sense to offer kind of something. We'll do one in the morning. I want to say it's 9 to 11:30, and then we'll do one in the afternoon. I think 1 to 2:30 or 3. We do ask that you go kind of sign up online. If you look, I know everybody doesn't do Facebook, but there's a way you can sign up. So we got to have a head number, because you don't want to get it too big, because you want to make sure you can be responsive to those questions. But so far, it's like I said, it's been very, very positive feedback, and we really do enjoy doing that.
That's really good. There's a Net Promoter Score. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so we have a partnership with Calix, and they basically help us on our hardware, and then on the back end on the software stuff, and then some marketing. And they came to us and was like, hey, this is a service that we offer. It's basically we'll survey your membership and give you what your Net Promoter Score is. So we looked into it and was like, we feel like we're doing a good job. We hear from folks in the community have mostly positive feedback, and so we're like, but yeah, we still would like to know what we're doing well, and then where we have opportunities to improve. So yeah, we put that out and went through that process, and we got a 92 back, which as what they tell us is this is you're offering a world-class service. It's on a scale from a negative 100, which you basically would have detractors, people out actively saying you're horrible, and then all the way to 100. So average,
good,
so average, they tell us average is around 15 to 30. If you get above a 50, that's pretty good. I think Amazon, Apple, they're in the 70 to 80 range. So we feel really, really excited. There's been a lot of people that was part of that, and you've worked on this for 2 or 3 years, and you kind of wonder, when people don't have to be accountable, or it's 'cause it's anonymous. We don't know who said what,
Yeah.
And so to get a 92 there is very, very rewarding for our employees. And so we're proud of that. We're waiting to get more detail to kind of get a little more down in the weeds to know where those opportunities to improve are. So we'll be getting that in the coming weeks.
I think that I think fiber is just a necessity anymore, and I'm glad to see what they've done for the school, for the district, for the baseball diamond club, what they've done for y'all there. And like I say, it's a necessity not just for you, but for the parents and everybody there watching as well. Brandon, I'm gonna go ahead and tell my age right here. Your dad was my 7th grade teacher.
He was 1978 probably.
At Agricola.
He was.
He was. And now Brandon was my daughter's teacher.
That's right. Full circle.
Right.
That's a million years ago.
It was. Oh, no, not a million. But I will tell my age by that. So
Yeah. I get some of his former students every now and then come up and talk to me and tell me, your dad taught me, and I said, is it that obvious I look like him? I get students. So, no, but it's pretty cool.
yeah,
To be in the education business and see it full circle.
full circle. Yeah, that's pretty cool. One of the things I like to talk to my guest about is something that you like about Lucedale. One of your most favorite things about Lucedale. If I know I kind of hit you on the spot with that, but Nick, can you think of anything? Do you live in Lucedale or?
I don't. I live down in, I call it North Escatawba, Big Point area.
Yeah.
It's kind of no man's land.
Yeah.
But I live in the unincorporated area of Jackson County. But no, I worked for Singing River for over 20 years. So I've been coming to Lucedale since then.
Right.
Been here exclusively, I guess, 3 years now. But yeah, I mean, it's what you just did right there. You know, everybody kind of knows everybody.
Yeah.
It's you go into a restaurant, you know, they'll welcome you. You know, when I first got here, you get some looks at you like he don't belong here kind of thing. And that's, you know, got used to that, and you make yourself.
Then you get them some fiber in there, like
Yeah. They see. I will say
that's
that.
Nick.
Yeah, they see the Connect shirt on you. It's a completely different thing. They, you know, but know that, and I love downtown, like Main Street and stuff. So I grew up in Escatawba. You know, Moss Point used to have that same cut. So I think about that. It's not that way anymore. You know, the big boulevard, I say boulevard, four-lane road goes now through there. But I can remember Moss Point being that way. So I love the downtown area and the new businesses and how that's being developed. Mm-hmm. And hopefully that, you know, that'll be created an atmosphere to kind of encourage more of that. I think that's a really, really good opportunity for Lucedale. The commercial growth has been a really good thing, and it's going to bring more folks, more jobs. So I think Lucedale's a place to be in the future. I do.
It is, even though you have some people that get upset about farmland.
Yeah.
But I mean, there's a reason people are moving here. I mean, we got back to back A-rank school district. Our schools are top notch. You have, I guess, cost of living's down. I mean, it is that. And
compared to other states, the cost of living and the price per square foot on the house is, even though you think it's high, is actually down compared to other states. I mean, we're like.
So like we were talking, I guess, earlier, and we're in the process of looking for a new football coach, and I've been in my role, been calling and contacting potential coaches, and the ones that are gonna have to move are asking things like, so what about living conditions? Is there anywhere to rent? And I said, well, good luck. But if you look for some new homes, you probably get a house before you get something to rent here in Lucedale because it's growing at such a rate.
It is.
And, you know, I was talking to those guys, and they have small children. Most of these guys you're talking to, coaches or whatever, and you know, and I always tell them, I was like, one of the things I love about being in Lucedale is, like you said, you do know everybody. But everybody kind of looks out for everybody else. Before I got here, I got a phone call. My cows were out, so.
Somebody took care of it.
Yeah, somebody took care of it for me. They're like, "Hey, I got your cows," and I said, "Now I owe somebody." So, but they got my cows back in. Called my son. He kind of helped get them together. But it is a great place to be, and it's growing. I mean, it's kind of exciting. There's that fine line. Like, when does it get too big? Like he's talking about, when you don't want to 4-lane down Main Street, but at the same time, you do want to see, you know, other businesses move in, and they only will do that if the population gets to a certain amount. And then from the other business, you have I guess the the pastoral side of it. Seeing new families come in, and there's a lot of great places to come just be involved in community here.
Yes.
In like a lot of ways. If you go to a soccer field on Saturday morning, good luck. I mean, it's just everywhere. Baseball's the same way, and Pee Wee football, and it's just a huge community. And one of those things, the best thing about it is, and the worst thing is the same thing, everybody knows everybody. So
that's true.
So, but yeah, I love it. I mean, moved off for 7 years and coached in Richardson, and first opportunity I had to come back, I knew I wanted to be back home, even though I ended up coaching like half my relatives and nephews and cousins and son. I mean, my son's on my team now and got another one coming, but I've no place I'd rather be than right here.
I think just moving away for a couple of years to just answer it for myself, you thought, maybe you want to be in Walmart one day and not see everybody and get out of there in 15 minutes, But when you move away and nobody speaks to you or waves at you or, even stops if you stop for their dog and they don't even kind of say thank you or whatever, it matters, and when you move back home, you appreciate it. Yeah. I think you would have to leave to appreciate it and see the way things are somewhere else. But it's home to me, and I'll never leave again. I'll never leave again. But that's just one of the things that I think I have said this before, the people, just having each other's back. And even at the school, like when my kid was at Agricola, like everybody knew whose kid that was. You pull up and they knew my car and they knew whose kid that was, and they're like, get in here. And the same way since she's got to high school, it's just everybody knows you and knows who you are, and it's not just me, it's everybody's kids, So it's just a good thing to be in a community where everybody knows you and takes care of you. And you want to see new businesses come and you want to see them succeed. There's plenty of business for everybody around here, and everybody can be successful. So, but anyway, well, I appreciate you guys coming. You need to eat some of those strawberries, Brandon.
I'm going to. I'm going to add to my total.
But I appreciate you coming today. Thank you, Nick.
Thank you so much for the opportunity.
Thank you, Brandon. I appreciate you. And just tune in for next week's episode. Thank you for watching this week's episode of Right at Home. Be sure to like and subscribe to any platform that you're watching on, and I look forward to seeing you next episode.